Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Tuesday night Zoom. Can you guys believe it's halfway through December already? I am so excited you guys decided to join myself and Laura Balzer, Senior Presidential Director, here with me this evening. And Laura, I did make you a co-host so you can help let some people in as well too. As we're rolling through here, getting over our 200 mark already. So, you guys, I have always shared with you that, the ideas, the things that I share with you on Tuesday nights or the people that I bring on here, it's always a divinely inspired type of situation. And it always comes in times that I least expect it. And so the other day, I don't remember where I was, maybe it was last week, one day, I can't remember. I was driving down the road and all of a sudden it said, oh, do a segment on weight loss. And it's the end of the year. And of course, no one's thinking about it now because you're always thinking about what am I going to get to eat at all these holiday functions or holiday parties, but you're going to be thinking about it really soon. And I know myself personally, a year ago at this time right now, my weight was not where I wanted it to be at all. I had suffered a very tragic loss last year with losing Taylor and just gained a lot of weight really fast. There's no other way to describe it other than it just packed on. Emotional weight, mental weight, physical weight, spiritual weight, whatever it was. It was all packing on, nothing was working. And so I remember ending my year going, okay, I am right now doing all my research into what am I going to do starting the beginning of January to kick off 2023 and be able to get myself back in shape. And here I am now looking at that end of this year and going, okay, consistency paid off. I did it, right? It's happened. And so I know that if I can do it, you can do it as well too. And so I thought, who better to talk to everyone about besides my very dear friend, Laura Balzer, who is a personal trainer, a strength conditioning coach, and has literally been into health and nutrition her entire life. And let's do a side note here, actually cured herself of stage 3 breast cancer 5 years ago with diet and nutrition and detoxification. So talking about like living it to the core, not just for weight loss, but for literally life purposes, this woman has done it. And so God said, Laura, Stacy, you and Laura jump on here and do a Zoom on weight loss and health and different types of tips. So we are going to share with you tonight. First off, we are not your doctors. We are not medical doctors. We are not here to treat or diagnose or prevent or cure anything that's going on with you. We literally just want to share with you some information about this technology that we use with the patches. We're going to weave in a few other things. I don't have like a fancy PowerPoint because I honestly just didn't have time flying out to Indiana on Thursday morning. We got a big presentation there and doing Christmas with family. And so I've got a lot of stuff in my notes section. Not a ton because, man, I have a ton of information from over the years. But I pulled some key things that I think are going to be important. I've got before and after pictures. I have testimonials from people. I've got some studies, and different things like that. And I've got some Instagram reels. How many of you love watching really short clips on great nutrition or diet exercise tips and things like that? I do, or at least my Instagram thinks I need all of that. So that's
and Dr. Stacy, you look amazing. Your year of perseverance and dedication has paid off, and wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm grateful you joined me tonight. We're going to kick it off by just explaining, just a short, brief explanation. For those of you that are guests tonight, you're probably like, wait, what is this? LifeWave is not a weight loss company, okay? We do not have a weight loss patch. That's not who we are. But I will share with you very briefly how the science and tech works of this technology, because it's going to be applicable to all the things we are talking about tonight, of course. And we're going to talk about our tummy reduction protocol. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I remember when we first got into LifeWave, Laura and I got in 2.5 years ago. And I remember someone mentioning that. I think we saw it on one of the Facebook pages and we're like, what? Tummy reduction, sign me up for that. And so we do have before and after pictures, and we've got a great graphic that Laura made that we're going to share with all of you as well too, so you can see not only how it helps with weight loss, but also, of course, how it's going to help with overall health. At the end of the day, we haven't, want to know what the epidemic is or the pandemic is? It's obesity. Our population in the United States alone is, I think, almost 80%
8%.
overweight, obese, and that means death is sooner than later. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? And I know things happen. I get it, obviously, but we got to get it in control right now. We want you to be here a long time. And so this technology is definitely something that can help you with that, incorporating it into a healthy diet, right? Healthy lifestyle choices, and we'll touch a little bit on that, of course, and all those practices that we're going to talk a little bit with you about tonight. So let's do the tech real quick. So this is what our patch looks like. This is a non-transdermal patch. It's sticky on one side and smooth on the other. And what David Schmidt, the inventor of this technology, has invented is in that white part in the center. This is a wearable light technology. And what do I mean by light technology? Well, we emit light or heat. Put your hand on your chest. You're about 98.6 degrees, especially, if you're in a colder climate. If you're down here in Florida, we may run a little hotter sometimes. But 98.6 is about what we are. And so that heat is what this patch is working with. There are no chemicals on this patch. There are no medicines, no nutrients, no herbs, no homeopathic remedies. What's inside of the patch, what David has invented, is a crystal lattice structure. It does not enter the body. That structure is made up of a solution of molecules, amino acids, oxygen, water, sugars. These organic proprietary blends of molecules form a lattice. It's reflective. It's in here. So it does not enter your body. Neither do any of the molecules, okay? So when I put it on my body in the morning when I get up, I brush my teeth, I put my patch on. I put it on the back of my neck, I put it below my belly button, I stick it here, I put it anywhere, the back of my, inside my wrist, it doesn't matter, right? Your whole body is emitting heat or light. And so when I put this on, my body's heat or light hits the patch and reflects back my own light, but in a very specific wavelength. And that wavelength of light is what is responsible for elevating a very specific peptide in your body. Now, we're not going to have time to get into a lot of what all that peptide does. Oh my gosh, I've spent a couple years on these Zooms talking about the benefits of this peptide. I'll share this with you real quick here, though. Grab this book if you don't have it yet. If you haven't seen this book by Dr. John Harmon, he's a wonderful chiropractor in our organization, and he wrote this book, just released here recently, on how to reverse aging. He talks about the benefits of elevating this peptide, GHKCU, copper peptide. And that peptide, we're going to talk a little bit here when we talk about fat burning, but that peptide is responsible for doing a lot in the body: neurological, cardiovascular, muscular, pain, sleep, inflammation, you name it, it's tons. But one of the things that it does is elevate and activate and immobilize these cellular regenerating cells in your body. And they do anything, all right? That's the holy grail of healing. The fountain of youth and the holy grail of healing wrapped up all into one patch. So you put it on, you leave it on 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, and put on a new one the next day. That's how this technology works, okay? By activating a very specific peptide. You can find all of our clinical studies on startx39now.com. You can see all the research, all the patents. David has over 90 clinical studies. He holds 150 patents himself. That's just mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. I know I met with Crystal Teeny on our organization. She flew down last night. We had dinner with she and Gary. And she said, I invented one thing, and it took me 2 years to try to get the patent for it. And when I finally got to the final stages, they denied me. She said, I can't imagine actually holding 150 patents. I'm like, I can't even imagine thinking of anything to invent. I get divine ideas all the time, but not inventions. I don't know. Maybe God said, nah, not for you. We're just going to give you inspiration. You're not that smart to put all that stuff together. So I'm like, I'll just keep reading the books. It's all good. We all have our strong suits. Focus on your strong suits. So what this patch does is focus on the strong suits inside of your body, right? Those strong cells that are responsible for repair and regeneration. This is the X39. But all of our other patches activate different peptides, okay? And they all work with the body's heat or light that we are emitting. And this patch is designed to be worn for a period of time. All of them are. This is not a quick fix. This is not, oh, I need to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I'm going to put these patches on and poof, it's all going to be gone. That is absolutely not what we're about. Okay. So that's how our patch technology works in a nutshell. Laura, do you have anything you want to add about X39 before we talk about our tummy reduction protocol and move on to our next patch?
No, I will say this, though, that we've been talking about this for 2.5 years. And as I'm sitting here listening to you, I just have, I don't know if anyone can see it when you're talking, just this huge grin on my face, because the validity of this technology, this light therapy, and what it's able to do in so many facets, every time I hear it, whether you're saying or somebody else is saying it, I'm just, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. And when we get into this and people see another side of this, I really feel like all of you are going to walk away going, wow, I learned something new today. Thank God I keep on coming every Tuesday. Right?
Well, and all the recordings are on my YouTube channel. So if you missed one, go to DRSTACI, Dr. Stacy, and you can catch those recordings. So don't stress over that. And this one will be up tonight, so don't worry. I know everybody's asking. They always do. I love it. We're happy to share, right? Happy to give the information. So this is the thing, you guys. X39 is always your starting point. Always, 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 always the starting point for so many reasons. But when we're looking at our tummy reduction protocol, this is the starting point as well. The second patch we're going to talk about, Laura, you want to talk to me a little bit about Eon and the benefits of Eon?
I love Eon. I love it for just everything that it encompasses. So you guys, this is really the top selling patch before David launched X39, which is huge. It really speaks for itself. But its purpose is to reduce inflammation in the body systemically. Layman terms, throughout the entire body. So this is signifying anything of exposure to things that's caused inflammation in our bodies, trauma and injury of some sort, the foods that we eat. Oh my gosh, if you're eating packaged foods, your inflammation markers are extremely high, and we're going to help you with that tonight, get them down. But you guys, also what it does is it helps just dial you down. A lot of people like referring to this patch as the bliss patch, right? And it just is a great name for it. It helps that body come back in a parasympathetic state or homeostasis. And many of us are running around, especially this time of the year, in this constant fight or flight mode. Just go, 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 go. I've got so much to do. I'm over here, I'm over there. You want this patch on your body because it's going to dial you down, bring the body back in balance, and you're going to feel calmer, cool, collected. And then I know there's those of you who go to bed at night and you're staring at the ceiling like there's a stock market ticker tape up there, and you can't shut off your minds. You can place this patch in what they call in the acupuncture world the triple warmer spot. It's right below the belly button. You can use the Eon patch at night. Put that on there on your belly before you go to bed. Dial it down a little bit and get a great night's sleep.
Perfect segue. It's so great. Yes. Laura and I haven't talked about what we're going to talk about.
No, she asked me at the beginning, and I'm like, we're just going to talk. Like, let's just do this.
But we always are in the flow. So it's perfect. So I have a great little reel. Like I said, I love to watch reels that are just quick and little tidbits of information. And I have a wellness page that I share these in. So you can pull this stuff off Instagram. So I'm going to share this with you guys. Okay. I'm going to screen share so you can see it. And let's see which one is my sleep one. There's Barbara. I love her.
I love her.
Okay, so this is the one I want you guys. This is about sleep. Okay, you ready?
Literally, it was like being
nope, not this one. Hang on. This one is not about sleep. It's this one right here. I had it pulled up and then it went away. Here we go. Okay.
Does losing just 1 hour of sleep impact your body's ability to lose fat?
1 hour. There was this really interesting study that split participants into 2 groups. Both groups were put into the same exact calorie deficit for 8 weeks. The only difference between the groups is that one group slept 1 hour less 5 nights per week. They were allowed to also sleep in 1 extra hour on the weekends to catch up. At the end of the study, both groups lost the same amount of total weight because they were both in the same calorie deficit. That makes sense. But when you lose weight, it can either come from body fat or lean body mass like muscle. And losing muscle is not a good thing for our metabolism, for just our overall health and avoiding different diseases. The group that lost just 1 hour of sleep lost 85% of that weight from the lean mass like muscle. Only 15% came from body fat. The group that slept normally lost 85% of their weight from body fat and only 15% from lean body mass. Meaning the group that lost just 1 hour of sleep 5 nights a week lost 5 times less fat than the group who slept normally, even though they lost the same amount of total weight. That's not a small difference. How much does...
Okay. So you guys, I'm going to share that link with you so you are able to have that as well. But that's huge. And as Laura mentioned, the Eon can be placed below the belly button at night if you're interested in helping to shut off the monkey mind and be able to help with sleep. Now, this is not a sleep patch, okay? So that's not what it is. But it definitely does help to calm the nervous system. It's in our tummy reduction protocol. And in the protocol, it's used during the day. But you're able to do day or night with Eon, okay? So I'll share the way the protocol looks when we're done going through the patches. But I wanted to share that, and I put it in the chat as well, because that makes a huge difference in burning fat. Obviously, we don't want to burn muscle. We want to save all that lean muscle. We're going to talk about that in a minute with our X3949, how important that is to have lean muscle mass when you're looking at losing fat, right? Getting rid of that excess. But the other thing I want to talk about real quick before we move on with inflammation, when you look at weight loss, cells are inflamed. I remember doing a lot of research on heavy metal toxins. We're going to talk about glutathione next. I did a lot of research last year on heavy metal toxicity, and heavy metals are heavy. They get in your cells and they're stuck, right? Those toxins are stuck in the cells. The inflammation is your cells are inflamed, and so they're inflamed and they're heavy and they're not able to release the toxic load. I remember, I think I probably called you, Laura, and went, oh my God, I've got to do another heavy metal detox. I'm sure I have more heavy metals in my body. Of course, you accumulate those over time from the environment, breathing, water that's not clean, right? Our food or lack thereof food, depending on what you're eating. There's toxins in all of your personal care products, your cleaning products. Even if you do everything clean, you're still going to have toxins that enter your body. You can't stop that. We live in that world. We don't live in a bubble. So getting the inflammation down in your cells, which is what Eon does, helps the cells to be able to release the toxins, helps the inflammation to come down, and helps to get that toxic load out of your body. So it's critical in all processes, but it's very, very important in the inflammatory process, as well as the sleep and being able to reduce the anxiety. A body that's stressed in fight or flight mode, we're going to talk a little bit about SP6 in a minute. You know, those adrenals, when that cortisol is pumped through the roof, you can't, it's really hard. I know for me, that's a big reason why the emotional and mental stress I was under last year. I know that's a huge component of the weight that I gained. So let's talk a little bit, Laura, about probably I'd say your favorite patch, glutathione.
It is my favorite patch. You know, you guys, this is I didn't know about this technology when I was going on my healing journey. And when I heard David speak about this patch on so many, oh my gosh, the vastness of this is incredible. It is the master. And when it uses the word master, it's very intentional. It is the master of all antioxidants in the body that is produced naturally. But just like everything else you heard when Stacy was describing earlier, the X39, things start to decline as we get older. And this is one of those things as well. And Stacy, this is a perfect piggyback with what you just said with the Eon. You guys, we have to give our bodies the opportunity to detox. Detoxing is such an important part of overall health and wellness, whether you don't need to lose weight or whether you're wanting to lose weight, okay? But it is going to enable the body to detox in the manner in which the divine intended it to be functioning on a daily basis. When you receive glutathione like I did when I was healing, an IV push, okay, there are other ways to get it as well, supplementation. Okay, but when you receive these from an outside source, the body's only receiving about 23% or taking in about 23%. And it has a half-life of 7.5 minutes. So you guys, let's use me as an example in my IV push. I was getting a syringe that was about 8 inches long and probably 1.5 inches diameter pushed into my IV at the very end. Well, within 2.5 hours, that was gone in my body. Hence the reason they were giving me so much. But when you use this glutathione patch, the body is now able to produce for yourself 300%. Why? Because it's yours. And that's why it's so elevated. But then it is able to stay active in a 24-hour period. It stays with you for a 24-hour period. Sign me up. Stacy's ribs are probably still hurting from when my elbow went into her ribs the day I found out about this. And I said, how do I get that on my body? Because for me, it was huge. But for tonight, talking about wellness and weight loss, you guys, a body cannot lose weight like Stacy was sharing with you with the Eon and removing or moving those toxins out of the body. We have to detox. This is going to play a huge part. Example, and many of you are on here. You joined a gym January 1st to lose all this weight. They gave you a trainer and he beat you up for 3 months. He had you lifting, he had you cardioing. 3 months later, you haven't lost a pound, you're discouraged and you quit. Toxins reside in the fat cells. And when your fat cells get so clogged up, they don't know what to do. So they start hanging on for dear life. What do I do? This is going to aid you in getting your body set up to be more efficient in weight loss and let that weight come off easier than what if you hadn't taken the time to set the body up with this detoxification with your own glutathione. Stacey?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I was deep diving again last year into the process of heavy metals and was specifically looking at a chiropractor that had mercury amalgams in his mouth and gold, which set up the perfect storm for massive toxic load leach into his body when he went to have them removed, unbeknownst to him, incorrectly. And so, you know, deep diving into that, what he said cured him of all of his problems was using a specific formula to reduce inflammation and a specific amount of glutathione every day. Now, of course, he didn't know about the patches. This was years ago this happened. But he said those two things helped me remove these toxins out of my cells, out of my body safely and effectively, where I am now able to have my life back with my wife and my children and my practice. And so it's very important. Glutathione is a very powerful patch. You hear me talk about this a lot. X39 elevates your glutathione about 30%. For some of you, that in and of itself is enough to start that detoxification process. Here's the thing. If you do not get rid of toxins of your body, if you do not help eliminate the toxic load, you are going to be in serious health detriment. Your conditions are going to be very detrimental down the road if you do not eliminate toxins. I'm a massive detoxer. My son, prime example, I love this. This is, oh, I'm so proud of him. He's 19, he just turned 19 a couple weeks ago. He just completed yesterday his first 3-day fast. He did 3 days with just water, with some electrolytes and a little bit of bone broth. Not much, but a little bit. And that's all he did for 3 days. And I'm so proud of him because I did my first detox when I was around 18, 19 years old. I did the distilled water, cayenne pepper, and fresh squeezed lemon, though, a gallon of it every day. I carried that jug around 7 days. Who told me about that? I have no idea, but I started my first detox at the same time. So I'm so proud of him for starting his. It's important that you do that, it's like you're oiling your car. If you are not changing the oil in the car is not going to go. It will lock up. And a lot of your bodies have locked up because you are not removing the toxins. So if you just need to start with X39 and start slow with your detox process, with your Eon, that's perfectly fine. But in our tummy reduction protocol, we get right to it. We're like, let's get it out. And your glutathione is going to do that. All right. Yeah. You may be on the toilet a little bit more. I know Trey said today, he goes, wow, Mom, that was really moving. And I'm like, hey, buddy, better out than in. He's like, I know. I'm going to Capitol Grill with my buddies now for dinner. So here's your digestive enzymes with your probiotics. Have fun. And so off he went. But you know, you guys, that's the thing. Do what works best for you and your body. If you need to take it slower with the glutathione patch and use it just a couple times a week, there's nothing wrong with that. You be the judge of you, okay? But better out than in. Please understand that we want to help you have a really good environment. And remember, your gut, 80–90% of that immune system's in your gut. And this is huge for gut health, reducing the inflammation. Your gut lining turns over every few days. That gives you the opportunity to create new environments because you're creating new food habits and patterns, right? So last patch in our tummy reduction protocol that goes on the tummy is our SP6. So SP6 is a different patch. These three activate very different peptides. SP6 does not work that way, okay? This works differently. This works on the SP or spleen meridian, which is on the inside of your left leg. And each patch comes with an instruction booklet. This is SP6, just so you guys can see this. When you order this, this will be in your pack. You can see inside of the calf, like right there, on the knee on the left side, or inside of the ankle. Any of those spots work. Pick a spot and stick with it for 7 days. But here's basically what SP6 does. This is marketed as a patch that curbs your appetite and boosts your metabolism. Now, how is that possible, and why is it in our tummy reduction protocol? Well, what it really does is balances your endocrine system. If you're not familiar with your endocrine system, it's a set of glands and organs that start up in your brain, your pituitary, hypothalamus, pineal, go down into your thyroid, your pancreas, your intestines, your kidneys, your adrenals, your reproductive organs. All of these organs and glands are responsible for hormone balance. You can Google endocrine system and take a deep dive into that. It's really important that it's balanced. When you're looking at weight loss, most people know that thyroid is a huge component of that. And as I mentioned, so are your adrenals. Put your hand on your back where your kidneys are. Your kidneys are in the back, not the front, by the way. That's your bladder in the front. The kidneys are in the back, and the adrenals sit back there on top of them. These little almond-shaped things back there. And those are the ones that are secreting that cortisol that packs on the body fat from the stress. So you can see how these are working hand in hand, right? Helping balance that endocrine system. But guess what? Looking at our clinical studies, and again, this is on startx39now.com, we can see an 87% improvement in the functionality of your endocrine system in just 7 days. That means probably a little bit better bowel movements, a little bit better function as far as in your metabolism. You may have a little bit curbing in your appetite, even in the first week. That's huge, right? To have some changes happen in first 7 days. I'm not saying you're going to lose weight in 7 days. Maybe you will. I don't know. There's a lot of components to that. But this tummy reduction protocol, SP6, is very important. Now, for the protocol, it is actually on the left side of the tummy. So I'm going to show you that picture and what it looks like in just a minute, okay? But this is a patch that we use in the protocol to help with metabolism and curbing that appetite. But again, at the root of it, we are looking at balancing the endocrine system. All of our David's patches, all of them are about balance. Let's get the body into homeostasis. that endocrine system is responsible for a whole lot more. You want to talk about heart disease? You got to look at the thyroid. Functional med says that thyroid's out of balance, that heart is going to suffer big time. So it's not just let's lose some weight. It's really let's get the whole body in balance. But let's look at the tummy reduction protocol because it is a fun way to do that. And we've got some great results from that as well, too. So, Laura, I want to talk a little bit about energy enhancer before I share the picture and some other things with them. So, do you want to share with them energy enhancer?
Well, I love energy enhancer. I wear it every single day. Stacey, I know you do too. You know, you guys, this was the first patch David invented. And on a request from the Defense Department when he was working on a project, a mini sub-project with the Navy SEALs. And they asked David to come up with something. So the SEALs they don't want them amped up on caffeine, amphetamines, and oh my gosh, God knows what else, right? These SEALs, they need clarity, they need stamina, they need endurance, and they need to keep going. They need to keep going for long periods of time. So this is where the energy enhancer was born, right? It is a 2-patch system. There's a white patch and there's a tan patch. But here's the beautiful thing about this, you guys, it's not energy. And there Stacey has them, right? The white patch always goes on the right side of the body and the tan patch always goes on the left side of the body. Okay, very easy to use, whether you put them on the chest area, the inside of the ankle, right? And as you know, always you're going to get that booklet to guide you, okay? But here's the beautiful thing about the energy enhancer. We're not talking energy like a cup of coffee or a Red Bull or something like this. We're talking good, clean, cellular energy, right? It's really addressing the middle of the cell, the mitochondria, the ATP, okay? Do y'all remember when you were in your 20s? Did you ever utter the word, I don't think I have the energy? Never. Because it was all in place for you. Everything was there, right? We stayed out to 4 o'clock in the morning. We're back in the office at 7. We probably had the same clothes on, but we didn't care, right? We were just rolling through. But when you use this energy enhancer, you're able to provide good, clean cellular energy, and you will feel amazing. But what I love about it too, we're talking about removing toxins out of the body. It's going to help you turn over your lymphatic system more efficiently. Maybe you haven't been getting the exercise that you need, or maybe for whatever the reason, you're unable to get that system moving so they can be cleared out. This patch is going to help you do this, okay? It's going to help you remove the toxins, get them out of your body, and let that body function more on a cleaner basis. But there's a caveat. It does burn an extra 300 to 600 calories, and it gets that burning source from the fat in your body. Now, Laura, I don't need to lose weight. Okay. Remember, Stacey said this is about balance. It's not going to require your body to do anything that is not needed. So don't fret. Lymphatic system is going to be looking amazing, right? But there is that caveat of burning an extra 300 to 600 calories. And out of my mouth always comes, sign me up. I'm all in to burn an extra 300 to 600 calories.
Well,
Right,
you know, I mean, the Navy SEALs didn't need to lose any body fat. I mean, they're the fattest men on the planet, right? So what it was using was we all have body fat. It was using their body fat for their fuel. So it'll help you use your body fat for fuel, but not in a way that it's going to, if you are, you know, I don't want to lose body fat. Trey, he's good. He doesn't need to lose any body fat. Why did he use energy enhancer? Basketball court, stamina, endurance, right? Being able to go nonstop. Why do marathon runners? I don't know a marathon runner that needs to lose weight, right? If anything, they're the opposite. Why are they using energy enhancer? Stamina, 26 miles without stopping. I cannot even fathom.
Absolutely.
13 was the farthest I ever got. And that was one and done. I'm not doing that again. But never say never.
Hey, Michael Phelps in 2008.
Yeah.
Right?
The USA,
I mean,
there's no body fat, but why is he using the patches? Endurance, stamina, right? Speed, being able to beat those PRs. So energy enhancer, you don't have to use it in the tummy reduction protocol, but we highly recommend it because, again, you're burning an extra 300 to 600 calories a day, and that triggering that beta oxidation, you're getting rid of that belly fat, right? Which is what we want to focus on, that visceral fat that is harmful to every one of your organs. So being able to reduce that's important. So I'm going to screen share. I'm going to share with you guys what the tummy reduction protocol looks like. So obviously you can see our patches. You're able to, if you want, move the Eon down and the X39 up. It's totally up to you, whichever one you want to do. The SP6 must be on the left side of the belly. So this is her left. And then the glutathione on the right side of the belly. So whichever one you choose, X39 Eon, above or below, doesn't matter, but keep the SP6 on the left. That's the way that patch works on that spleen meridian, and the glutathione on the right. And so we do have a little graphic. Gloria made this up when we first did this tummy flattening protocol, she called it. And I'm going to share some pictures with you guys here in just a second. But X39, Eon, SP6, glutathione, energy enhancer, all of this you can include in a silver pack. So all of these patches will fit inside of that silver pack. So that is a beautiful thing if someone is interested, and I'll share these graphics in the chat, so don't worry, you can pull them. But that's a great thing if anybody's interested in, getting ready for the new year. A silver pack will encompass all of these patches that we just discussed, and so that's pretty cool, I think. But I'm going to share some pictures with you. Let me get rid of these. So let's look at. Here we go. Okay, so I just have some, I literally screenshotted earlier. This is from somebody that did the tummy reduction. You can see here, day 1, shriveled up. Long hauler. These are her words, not mine. This is what she was saying, 66 years old, post-menopause, day 6, bloating starting to diminish. 3 weeks, her skin tone is lighter, stretch marks are lighter, feeling amazing. So here's her picture up close, so you can see what that looks like. Day 1, obviously this is just showing the one patch above, and then you can't see the other ones, but this is belly button. So this was above the belly button area. And then you can see what it's looking like on 3 weeks later, how things have started to change around her belly button specifically in the picture.
That's amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
And then if you want to look at a man's picture, don't know if y'all know Dr. Stan Gravely or not, but this is Dr. Stan looking all fit here from using the tummy reduction protocol. And so these are his results. Then I'm going to share with you, this is, we did a challenge. And
Yeah.
Farrah, I'm going to show her what she said first. She's our winner of that challenge at that time. So she created this. I actually have these in bigger. I'll share with you. She said she can definitely see the difference after 1 month. She's changed nothing about her routine. She is a yoga instructor. That's how I met her several years ago. So this is her before and after that she sent. And then here are the actual pictures in her tummy reduction. So you can see.
That's incredible.
Woo! Changes there for sure in the abdominal area. And
Look at her belly button. Unbelievable.
I know. Look at this. Side
Wow.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oops, didn't pop up. Here we go. Definitely changes there. And you can't suck it in to make it do that. Like, you can suck in, but you can only suck in so much. And that was only after 30 days. We always recommend your tummy reduction protocol that you do for 90 days. When you're looking at anything with weight, hormones, balancing. I'm going to share some other people's personal testimonials. This person said she's been doing it for 2 weeks. Very impressed. We all know Nancy. She said, I can't believe it. My tummy's really getting flatter. My digestion is healthier too. We have someone here said she's been doing it 12 days. Can tell, but not good at what I need to do more of. So at least she's doing it, right? She can tell a difference. This is a lady as well, said she's using X39 and Eon since Thanksgiving, sprinkled in a little carnosine and glutathione, and lost all of my belly fat and my thigh fat. So amazing. These trouble areas I have tried for 25 years to trim down. Nothing has worked like these patches. That's pretty crazy. I have someone in the chat here just a second ago that shared she's been using right here, been using the X39 Eon for a month now, already gained 2 pounds of lean muscle, lost 1% off my body fat, was able to do 3 classes at the gym this morning, Pilates, cycle, yoga, and feel in my 20s again. Woo!
Wow.
That's
Stacey,
amazing.
that's what I love about this. And you guys, I say this all the time. You know, when I was extensively training people, if they had had these regimens as they were working out and incorporating a healthy lifestyle, the expediency of the result with them as you can see, is incredible. And all I can do, Stacey, is think about my past clients, getting them started on this and have them receive the benefit and the acceleration of this tummy protocol.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And this is a doctor up in Canada. These are her results. And you can see that she said she sprained her ankle the whole month. So she didn't work out and wasn't eating that great, but still had obviously some change in, you know, that stubborn back fat area back there, right?
Yeah.
Got rid of some of that. So that's pretty amazing. Different people, different results, obviously, and things they experienced. She had a big, long write-up post about it. So let's dive a little bit into the X39 and X49. Let's talk about that. Where is my note on 39, 49? Where did it go? Where was it at? Let me find it here in just a second. Okay, so Lori, you have X49. I'm going to pull it up while you're.
You know what? I ran out and I threw my pack away, and I'm waiting for my new one to come in. So I apologize. I do not.
Oh, you're fine. Trey has mine, and I didn't have time. I had a Zoom before this, so I didn't have time to go to his bathroom.
As y'all can see, it's a really horrible product because we didn't get it in here quick enough.
We're fighting over it, literally.
Oh my God, it's amazing. You know, Stacey, I love this product X49. It's some people start using it for one reason and they get the benefit of many things from this patch. You know, you guys, this is a different system, a different regeneration than the X39, okay, in cellular activity. We're more focused in on muscle, okay, muscle tissue, lean muscle mass. You know, whether you're somebody like Trey, Stacey's son, who's in the gym at 19, if you saw this child, he's not a child, he's a very nice looking man.
I'm going to share his picture in a minute.
Is jacked, okay? But he looks amazing, and it's because he's incorporated this patch. And the gains that people see when they combine X39 and X49 in the gym, as you'll see here, is incredible. People don't receive that type of gain without it. So Stacey, you've pulled this up, so I'm going to let you go over this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. 39 and 49 are individual. They work differently. But as Laura said, 49 really focuses on lean muscle mass and helps to burn extra body fat. I'm going to share a couple slides with you. This is from our 60 days of clinical studies. You can see huge differences when you add 49 in with, you know, 39 and 49 together versus by itself. I mean, I don't know. Sign me up for these changes versus these, right? And so the other one that I want to share with you is this that talks about what I'm going to share the picture with you next. 3949 helps to build bodies, obviously, but differently. Increases fat loss, 11% body fat reduction in 60 days. Makes the body leaner and stronger and creates more change. Obviously, we know there's great results with bone density, but I want you to look at this. This was a before and after scan of a 74-year-old male. So body fat percentage before, body fat percentage after, that's a big change. 4% body fat reduction. I mean, how else do you get that? Like you're, and look at this, fat mass down.
Yeah.
That's 53% high health risk versus 20%. So we're talking big changes for not only just the belly, but overall longevity, right? free fat mass, big change there. And so we have a lot of, obviously, these before and after pictures, scans that were actually done in a 60-day clinical study with people. But I will share with you that this is my son, Trey, and these are his before and after pictures. Sorry, this one's a little pixelated. But this is, so Trey, this was Trey at 17 years old. Looked great, worked out. He'd been working out for a couple years already. You know, diet, everything the same. This was Trey when we were on our cruise a couple weeks ago. I said, buddy, it's been 2 years you've been using the patches. Send me your after picture. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? These are both like basically adults, 17-year-olds, 19-year-old. The only difference is using the patches. His diet has not changed. His workout routine has not changed. He actually, I wish he was here right now. He came in earlier when I was doing a Zoom at around 1 o'clock this afternoon with my team in Europe. And they wanted to see this and they were talking about this. And so he was talking to them about how that he's been able to recover faster. The patches have kept his inflammation down. He uses carnosine also, how it's been able to help him to build this body, this lean muscle mass. He has increased his calories, of course, over the last couple of years, but that's the only thing he's done different. The type of food has not changed. Nothing else has changed but using 3949. And when I shared with him, look at his legs. When I shared with him his these studies from what I just shared with you in the whole study. What if you go to your app, LifeWave In Touch app, you can pull up those documents that I had and the whole entire study that they did. I sent that to him and he said, I want those patches immediately. Put them in my bathroom. I never want to run out. And so he uses them every day. And you're probably going to ask where. I'm going to tell you where he puts them. He's intuitive. And so he puts one of the patches on his right hip, on like the muffin top area above the hip, and the other patch on his left one. That's just how he does it. He does one on each side and he'll wear them daytime and sometimes he'll wear them nighttime. He rotates it. I don't know, but he just does it. That's how he does it. And he uses carnosine. And again, sometimes he'll use it daytime. Sometimes he'll use it nighttime. He keeps track of his own 12-hour window. I don't obviously keep track of any of that, but he's diligent about these patches because of the gains, and not just like big muscle, but like squats, deadlifts, bench press. I'm talking huge numbers, huge changes. And maybe you don't want to make those changes. Maybe you're not interested in those kind of gains in the gym. I know I'm not. Like, I'm not here to like bulk up and try to bench, 350 pounds like he is. But my goal is to have lean muscle mass. My goal is to be able to support my bones and to be able to have lesser amount of body fat. So that way I am able to live a long, healthy life. And all of these patches support that, obviously, in different ways. So I do want to share, let's do a teeny tiny bit on a little bit on food. I want to share 2 things with you. One clinical study from Harvard, if that's okay with you guys. And then I want to share, I love Barbara O'Neill, obsessed.
I love her.
Obsessed with her. So let me share this one with you, the study on Harvard on breakfast. This is a fun one.
Oh, this is good. This is so good.
Let's see. Here it is right here.
I know exactly what I'm
Eating oatmeal literally was like being chased by a tiger in your body. Your body didn't know the difference. It actually made these kids hungrier, and they ate 81% more food.
Let me go back. It's not the beginning. Here we go.
The omelet.
Oh, no.
Remember, they had the same calories of omelet, oatmeal, or something. So still could go, which was better. They still ate 50% more food than the omelet. When you have starch or sugar in the morning, whether it's a muffin, bagel, oatmeal, French toast, pancakes, whatever people are eating, it's the worst thing you can do. You want to start your day with protein and fat. One profound study done by my friend David Ludwig at Harvard, where he took a group of overweight young guys, teenagers, and he gave them 3 different breakfasts, exactly the same calories: oatmeal, steel cut-toast, omelet. And then he locked them in a room, they measured their blood every hour, and they tracked everything. And they said, when you guys are hungry, push this button, we'll bring you more food. The oatmeal group not only had higher levels of insulin, cortisol, adrenaline, which is the stress hormones. Eating oatmeal literally was like being chased by a tiger in your body. Your body didn't know the difference. It actually made these kids hungrier, and they ate 81% more food than the omelet. Remember, they ate the same calories of omelet, oatmeal, or something. So still could go, which was better. They still ate 50% more food than the omelet. When you have starch or sugar in the morning, whether it's a muffin.
So I wanted to share that one with you because that's interesting. Right? I'm all about studies, and there are a lot of studies out there, right? So I'm not going to say this is the end all be all 100%. Please don't think that. because I've eaten oatmeal in the past, right? I've eaten protein for breakfast in the past. And God, how many years have we done bulletproof coffee, right? In the morning, healthy fats. So we're all different in how things work. But I thought this study was very interesting, given that we have an epidemic of people that are overweight, and they typically, because I do consult with people, they typically start their morning with oatmeal or toast or a bagel or a muffin, some fruit, maybe cereal, a cereal bar or something like that. And I'm like, where's your protein? Right? And so I wanted to share that study with you guys. The other thing I wanted to share is from Barbara. Let me find Barbara. I think she's right. I can't get this bar out of the way. Hang on one second. These little control things up here are...
They get in the way, don't they?
They do get in the way. Here we go. Here's Barbara O'Neill. Love her. Okay, let's listen to Barbara. Hopefully this is the, I don't know if this is the beginning either.
If someone wanted to lose weight,
Yeah.
what would be the best fat for them to eat? It's hard to say, isn't it? Because we've been so brainwashed against coconut oil. In fact, the body burns it. It's like the Australian farmer. He got a whole lot of coconuts cheap, so he thought he'd fatten up his cows. Well, his cows lost fat, put on muscle, and started bounding round the paddocks. You say paddocks, fields. So if you want to lose fat and put on muscle and start bounding round Bermuda's mountains, what do you eat? Coconut. Knowledge is easy to him that understands. Is that right? Yeah. Another way that you can boost hydrochloric acid production is the juice of a lemon in a little bit, with a little bit of boiling water on it. The heat in the stomach and that lemon, the acid lemon, will boost your digestion. So when you have a salad, squeeze lemon all over it. Fruit salad, squeeze lemon all over it. Lemon is a wonderful digestive aid, but it is also a liver tonic. So if someone wanted to lose weight.
So I wanted to share those with you guys. And again, I'll put all of this stuff in the chat so you can have it here before we finish up tonight. But these are just a couple little clips. Literally, if you're not on Instagram or Facebook, or if you're not on YouTube, try to be on something where you can watch these little shorts or little reels of information that just give you little tidbits. And it's for you to discern what works best for you and what you think is, the most beneficial for you. And I know, Laura, we can touch a little bit on food. Healthy food. If you want to talk a little bit, I'm put some stuff in the chat. If you want to talk a little bit about, the grocery store, the outside versus the inside, and that kind of thing, especially with your journey in nutrition and what you found to be the best to alkalize the body and keep the body in a healthy state environment inside.
Right. And no, absolutely. And, Stacey, one thing I wanted to touch on real quick, and I know women are asking this question, and this is for everybody across the board, but it really centers in on women. You guys, women around the age of 40, 45, prior to that, we could eat carbs and it never fazed us. We could eat a bagel and it never fazed us. It didn't put weight on us. We could do certain things. When you're 40 or 45, you have got to make a protein carbohydrate switch. You've got to switch it and make the carb intake much, much less and the protein intake much, much more. And the golden rule here, okay, if we're going to incorporate all the knowledge we gained tonight, is about 30 grams of protein in the morning, 30 for lunch, okay, and 30 in the evening. And to help, like Stacey said, keep that body alkaline, keep it clean, keep the inflammation down. Organic vegetables, low glycemic organic fruit. It is okay for you to eat a little bit of fruit, right? Blueberries, raspberries, cut up strawberries, okay? Pineapple is fantastic for you. Yes, it's got a little higher content of sugar, but pineapple and cucumber in a blender with some ice and some filtered water, oh, you will clean out. And I'm not saying you're going to be living in the bathroom. It's just going to help the body digest food more efficiently, clean up the gut, clean up the intestines. It's going to make you feel amazing, right? But I want to share something with you. Please don't buy seedless grapes. Organic seedless grapes, you guys. There is not a vegetable or a fruit on God's green earth that is seedless. You're buying GMO foods. Stop buying them. Stop buying seedless watermelons. Please stop buying seedless grapes. They're GMO, right? We don't want modified foods of that nature. So be mindful as you stay to the outside of the grocery store and not tax so many of the inside where all the packaged foods are, the processed foods are. And I know bars are just so amazing for a quick grab, but it's a glorified candy bar. It truly, really is. So be mindful of what you're putting in. Lean meats for breakfast in the morning, you guys, pasture-raised eggs, okay, avocados, okay. It's very filling. Omelets with spinach in it. I do eat cheese, but I don't eat cow's milk. Everything's sheep or goat. The protein structure of sheep and goat is totally different from cow's milk. So the acidity level or levels are much lower than if you were eating cow cheese. Okay. So if these little switches like this help you eat cleaner, help the body function a little bit better. Okay. And gets that protein intake up. It's imperative, you guys, with incorporating what we've talked about tonight. It truly is. And Stacy, you know, Trey's in the gym. I know you have your regimen. I have my regimen. You guys, I want you to know you do not have to be in the gym for 6 hours a day to attain weight loss or the physique that you're trying to attain, whatever that is. Just get your body moving. If all you can do is go out and have a brisk 30-minute walk, maybe with a little light hand weights, put something in that's going to make you feel amazing in your ears and go. Tune the rest of the world out and do this for you because you're important, because you give so much to so many. So I don't telling you to get in the gym every single day, but I am asking you to please move for at least 30 minutes a day, Stacy, at least, right? And if we incorporate that with the things that we've talked about tonight, you're going to be unstoppable.
I totally agree with that. So let's kind of sum this up here. We have 1 minute. Food is your foundation. Proper, healthy,
Always.
clean, non-GMO, organic, local, fresh, co-op, you know, find farmers market, something. Food is your fuel. It is your foundation. Most people are nutrient deficient. They are not eating real foods. They are eating fake foods. And that is the root of the problems, right? That's a big cause of the problems. And so we want to get that right food. We want to make sure we have proper water. Hydration is key. At least half your body weight in ounces in water every single day. You know, there's all different types of foods that are. I'm breaking up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
A little bit.
Okay.
Now I can.
Okay, good.
Yep.
There's all different types of foods that are really high in water, like grapefruit, watermelon, tomatoes, celery, cucumbers, broccoli, you know, peppers. Those foods are high in water, so make sure you incorporate those in some of your, you know, your diet throughout the day. Really, again, organic, healthy things, but making sure that you're getting adequate movement, like Laura said. Use your patches, of course. Your patches are a huge tool. Get out in nature. Make sure you're getting good quality sleep. Sleep is so important. You saw that. And we'll be sharing the graphics and the before and after pictures and things like that. I'll share them in the Telegram channel so you guys can all have them for your reference. And then also, of course, I can share them in the Team Evolve and my team page on Facebook as well, too. This will be on my YouTube. So you'll have all the resources, but just keep in mind that it's a process. It took me a year to get rid of what took me 6 months to gain. So keep in mind that it's going to take time. This is not a quick fix, but you are worth the time. You are worth it. You are worth the energy, the effort, because we want you here for a long time. We want your family to be healthy, you to be healthy, and what you do. I'm so grateful to say that, and I know, Laura, you can see this in your children as well too. The practices that we've practiced over our life is impacting our children, and that means it's changing things for generations to come, because this is, it's really important that we are modeling for ourselves and for others in our family that are watching. You never know who's watching, and wanting to, model after what you're doing. So take care of yourself. Thank you all for being here. Laura, thank you for being my beautiful co-host this evening. I am grateful for you and all the information that you shared, and we'll get this recording up for you guys ASAP. Laura, any last words?
No, thank you for having me. This has been great fun. You guys, we hope we've helped you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, because help, consistency, you got it licked. You're good.
Absolutely. Get back with the person that invited you, and they can help you get set up with the patches that you desire, and help you get started on your healthy journey as well too for 2024. Thank you all, and have a fantastic evening.